My First Bible presents the story of Samuel. In the mountainous region of the tribe of Ephraim, there was a man called Elkanah. Elkanah had 2 wives. One of them was called Hannah, and the other one Peninnah. Peninnah had kids, but Hannah didn't, since she was sterile. This was the motive why Peninnah molested Hannah. You don't have any children! She used to torment her to make her angry and cry, since Jehovah had not granted her children. Every year, Elkanah left her village to adore and offer sacrifices to Jehovah in Shiloh, where Hophni and Phinehas, the 2 sons of Eli, were the priests of Jehovah. When the day came in which he offered his sacrifice, he took his wives and kids for them to eat. Elkanah used to give Peninnah and her children their share. But Hannah got a special share, for he loved her even though she wasn't able to give him any children. Peninnah made sure to say something cruel to Hannah. He has given you more, but that doesn't mean you're special. He pities you because you can't give him any children. Every year when they offered sacrifices, the same thing happened. Peninnah tormented Hannah and didn't stop until she cried. So Elkanah, her husband, told her, "Hannah, why are you crying? Why aren't you eating? Am I not better than you than 10 children?" Later, being in Shiloh, Hannah decided to go to the tabernacle. She started praying there with a great anguish within her and crying uncontrollably. She started whispering and talking to God about her suffering and begging him to give her a child. So she made a promise. "Jehovah of the army, if you deign to look at the affliction of your servant, if you would listen to my prayer and grant me a son, I would devote him to you every day of his life, and he will never cut his hair off." At that moment, Eli the priest was in sight, who was sitting in his chair next to a pillar of the temple. As she was praying for some time, Eli looked at her mouth. Her lips were moving, but as she was praying in a really low voice, he couldn't hear her voice. That's why he thought she was drunk. "Hey! Oh my God, I can't believe it! Woman, for how long will your drunkenness last? Quit the wine now!" When hearing this, Hannah replied, "Oh, no, my lord. I haven't drank wine or cider. I'm just a sad woman who has come to unburden herself before the Lord. Please don't take me as an impious woman. I have been praying due to my sadness and affliction." Eli felt really bad and said, "Huh? Oh, then may the God of Israel grant you what you have asked him. Go in peace." When Hannah listened to these words, she was happy. She said goodbye and left. From that moment, her face changed. When she returned home, Hannah was happy because she was faithful that God would give her the child she was asking for. Sometime after, it happened. Hannah and Elkanah were pregnant, and at their own time, they had a son. And Hannah named him Samuel because she said, "I asked the Lord for him, and he listened." Hannah didn't forget about the promise she made to God of never cutting his hair off and to devote him every day to the service of the Lord. As every year, Elkanah had to return to the Shiloh to offer his sacrifice to God. But this time, Hannah didn't go with him. "I will not go until it is no longer necessary to breastfeed Samuel," she explained to her husband. "After that, I will take him to devote him to the Lord, and there he will stay for the rest of his life." "Okay, You do what you think is better, Elkanah answered. Stay until the breastfeeding is no longer necessary to make the Lord honor his word.
Blah, blah, blah.
Like that,
Blah, blah, blah.
Elkanah, Peninnah, and the rest of their children went to Shiloh.
Blah, blah, blah.
While Hannah stayed home and raised her son until he stopped breastfeeding. When the time came, Hannah took Samuel to the tabernacle in Shiloh to keep the promise she had made to the Lord. Although the child was still really small, Hannah had made up her mind to devote him to the Lord. She took with her 3 calves, flour, and a glass of wine. After the calves were slaughtered, Hannah presented the child to Eli. My lord, do you remember me? It's me, the woman who some time ago was praying here. You saw me crying, begging to the Lord. Drunk? Yes, of course I remember you. I was praying to have this kid, and God gave him to me. And well, I promised I would devote my son to him every day of his life. So, Eli took the child Samuel so that he would remain in the tabernacle and serve the Lord. Hannah, on her side, sang to the Lord a song of praise and appreciation for answering her prayer. Each year, Hannah made a little tunic and gave it to Samuel when she went with her husband to offer the sacrifices. Eli gave his blessing to Elkanah and Hannah, saying that the Lord would give them more children. And Hannah and Elkanah did have 5 more children, 3 sons and 2 daughters. While Samuel was serving the Lord in the tabernacle. Hophni and Phinehas, the 2 sons of Eli, served as priests in the tabernacle of the Lord. But those were perverse men who were not afraid of God, nor did they respect the sacred things of the tabernacle. They dared to do evil things before the eyes of God. When an Israelite was going to make a sacrifice, they presented it with a 3-toothed hook. While the meat was cooking, they put the hook into the pot, and the priests ate everything that got caught on the fork. You can't do this! It doesn't belong to you! Are you accusing us of being thieves? This is how they treated every Israelite who went to Shiloh. Eli, who was really old, found out about everything his kids were doing to the people of Israel. What's going on here? Eli asked. Oh, nothing, Father. This man is denying us the meat that belongs to us. That is a lie! I am willing to give what is intended by the Mosaic law, but each time I come to offer a sacrifice, these 2 take more than they should have. Why do you behave like this? Eli asked them. Everyone is talking about your bad behavior. Be good. People are not saying nice things about you. And if you're seen before the eyes of God, something bad can happen. But Hophni and Phinehas weren't obedient. Is that all, Eli? Well, I won't come back here. Meanwhile, the boy Samuel kept growing and being loyal to the Lord under the attention of Eli, earning the love of the Lord and the people. Each year, the parents visited and they brought him a new tunic. Once, a man of God went to see Eli and told him, Eli, I am here with a message from God saying, why do you treat with such contempt the sacrifices and offerings that the Lord has commanded to be brought to the tabernacle? Why do you honor your children more than God? That I honor my children more than God? How dare you? You have been really soft with them, Eli. You haven't scolded them for the terrible things they've done, both in and out of the tabernacle. And you have allowed them to mock sacred things. So, the Lord says, the Lord of Israel, that in no way will he let your family serve him. That's why your house has fallen into condemnation. And I give you as a sign that your 2 sons, Hophni and Phinehas, will die the same day.
Blah, blah.
But the Lord will raise up a new priest, one that will do his will and fulfill his wishes. Instead, your family will fall. Will you take me away from my priest position? In those times, it was no longer common for God to speak to people, nor were visions frequent. Eli was going blind. One night, while he was resting in his room, Samuel slept in the sanctuary of the Lord, where the Ark of the Covenant was located. In that moment, he heard a voice.
Samuel! Samuel!
Samuel thought it was Eli who was calling him and went to him. Eli, I'm here. Have you called me? Samuel asked.
What happened?
You called me.
I haven't called you, boy. Go to sleep. Come on, go to sleep.
Confused, Samuel went back to sleep. Sometime later, he heard a voice calling him again.
Samuel!
He got up and went where Eli was. Eli! Eli! I'm here!
What?
Why have you called me?
I haven't. I'm tired, Samuel. Come on, go to sleep.
Again, he went to sleep, and for the 3rd time, he heard the voice calling his name again.
Samuel! Samuel!
Quickly, he went back where Eli was. Here I am, Eli. Eli! Eli!
Oh, boy. What?
You have called me, Eli.
No, I haven't.
At that time, Eli realized that it was God who called Samuel and told him,
Samuel, listen. If you hear that voice again, say, Speak, Lord, that your servant is listening.
Blah, blah.
When Samuel went back and heard the voice calling his name again,
Samuel! Samuel!
God, speak, that your servant is listening. And God answered,
I warned Eli to correct his sons, and he didn't. Thus, soon a trial day will come against them.
God told Samuel everything that would happen to Eli's family, about his sons, and about how he didn't nag them about the mean things they did. That's how God talked to Samuel. The following day, Samuel didn't want to tell anything to Eli. But Eli went where Samuel was and asked,
Samuel, my son, what has the voice told you? Tell me right now, Samuel. Please, don't hide anything from me. Tell me everything he told you.
Blah, 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 blah.
Samuel told him everything that would come to Eli's house without hiding anything. And Eli said,
He is the Lord. Do whatever you like.
While Samuel grew up, the Lord was by his side, and everything he said was obeyed. All Israel acknowledged that Samuel was a prophet confirmed by God. Sometime after, the Philistines attacked the Israelites. During the war, the Philistines were winning, killing 4,000 Israelites. In the camp, the bosses of Israel were asking themselves, Why? Why are we losing? Why is the Lord giving us away at hands of the Philistines? And someone had an idea.
Hey, if we bring the Ark of the Covenant that is in Shiloh to be near us, then those Philistines will know that God is by our side.
Blah, blah, blah.
Everyone agreed, and so they did. When they took away the Ark of the Covenant, both sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, were in charge of it.
Blah, blah.
When they saw it, every Israelite soldier was excited and started shouting so loud that the earth trembled. The Philistines heard the screams and asked themselves, "What is happening? What's all the fuss about in the camp of those Hebrews?"
Blah, blah.
Realizing that they had carried the Ark of the Covenant to the camp, the Philistines shrank back and said to each other, "What will be of us now that, yes, God is inside their camp?"
Their God is too powerful. That God once hurt the Egyptians with many plagues.
But someone told them,
Okay, Philistines, don't be cowards. If you don't want to be those Hebrew slaves, exactly as they have been ours, fight like men.
then the Philistines had the courage and character to attack.
God is with Israel.
Blah, blah, blah.
And so they defeated the Israelites, killing 30,000 soldiers. In addition, the Ark of the Covenant was captured, and they killed Hophni and Phinehas, Eli's sons. A soldier from the tribe of Benjamin that managed to escape from the battle that same day got to Shiloh. His clothes were destroyed and his head was covered with dust. He met Eli there, sitting on his chair and watching the way. Eli was shaking from nerves just thinking about the Ark of the Covenant. "Eli, I come from the front lines," he said. "I have run from the Philistines."
What happened, my son?
Eli asked. "The Israelites have been defeated by the Philistines. The army has suffered a terrible defeat. And also, your two sons,
Tell me, what has happened to them?
Hophni and Phinehas, are dead, and the Ark of the Covenant has been captured." Just upon hearing mention of the Ark of the Covenant, Eli fell onto his back from the chair next to the door.
Blah, blah, blah.
As he was old and very heavy, he broke his nape and died. Eli died at the age of 98 and led Israel for 40 years. His daughter-in-law, Phinehas' spouse, who was pregnant at that time, had a difficult birth when she knew that the Ark of the Covenant had been captured and that her father-in-law and husband were dead.
Blah, blah, blah.
In agony, she named her son Ichabod, which means inglorious, because she said, "They have taken the glory from Israel since the Ark of the Covenant has been captured." When the Philistines captured the Ark of the Covenant, it was taken to Ashdod, one of its main cities, and they placed it in the temple next to the statue of their god, Dagon.
Blah, blah,
They
blah.
presented the ark as an offering to Dagon. The next day, when the people of Ashdod went to the temple, they saw that the statue of Dagon was lying on the ground, face down, as if it were prostrate in front of the ark of the Lord. Shocked, they lifted the statue and put it in its place. But the following day, they found the statue again lying on the ground, face down, but this time with his head and hands separated from its body. This caused great concern among the residents of Ashdod, and they did not want the ark to remain any longer in their land. Then, the Lord punished the people of Ashdod, and they began to suffer from a plague of tumors and rats. People told each other, "The ark of the God of Israel cannot remain here, because that God has unloaded his hand on us and against our god Dagon." So, all the Philistine rulers gathered together to decide what to do with the ark. "What will we do with the ark of the God of Israel?"
Take it to the city of Gath.
the bosses answered. And so they did it. By bringing the ark there, Jehovah also punished that city, afflicting its residents with a plague of tumors and rats. This caused panic among them. Then they sent the ark to Ekron, but as soon as the ark was in the city, its residents began to shout, "They have brought the ark of the God of Israel to us to kill us all!" And they too were filled with infestations of tumors and rats. Therefore, they summoned all the Philistine leaders and protested. "Hey, wait a minute! Why do they always put the same characters? That was not..." Carry on, carry on.
Take that ark away! Give it back to the Israelites so it doesn't kill us all!
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Then the Philistine leaders called together the priests and the soothsayers and asked them,
What will we do with the ark? How will we get rid of it?
"How could we put it back where it belongs?"
We must understand that the same thing is happening to us as to the Egyptians, that while they did not let the people leave, they were filled with plagues. If you plan to return it, do not just send it like that. You will have to present a guilt sacrifice to God. Only in that way will we regain health. And what should we offer as a guilt sacrifice?
The Philistines asked.
The way to do it will be this. You will make 5 golden figures in the shape of tumors, and another 5 in the shape of rats, one for each Philistine chief and city, according to the number of your rulers and the plagues that have struck you. You will also order the construction of a completely new cart. Then they will choose 2 cows who are raising their calves and who have never carried a cart. You will tie both cows to the cart, but you will lock your calves in a stall. You will ride the ark on the cart, along with a box that will contain the golden figures that will be given as a guilt sacrifice to God. Then you will observe the cows. If they stay here and not go anywhere because we have their calves, we will know that everything that is happening here is just coincidence. But if the cows begin to walk toward the land of the Israelites without detour, then we will know that the God of Israel is the one who has caused us this terrible calamity for having had his ark.
And so they did it. They took the 2 cows and tied them to the cart, but they locked the calves into the stall. Besides, they placed the Ark of the Covenant and the box with the figures of rats and tumors in the cart. The cows, instead of going to where its calves were, began to moo and walk directly toward the land of the Israelites without straying at any time. The Ark of the Covenant was in Philistine land for 7 months. The leaders of the Philistines followed the cart to see if it would really reach the land of the Israelites. And that's how it happened. The ark arrived at an Israelite city called Beth Shemesh. When the residents of Beth Shemesh looked up and saw the ark, they were filled with joy.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
They sent for Levites to take the ark. The cows stopped in a field at Beth Shemesh, where there was a huge stone. The Levites took the Ark of the Covenant and placed it on the stone, along with the box containing the gold figures. The townspeople used the wood from the cart as firewood and offered the cows as a burnt offering to the Lord. The Philistine leaders saw all of this and returned to Ekron that same day. The residents of Beth Shemesh were happy to have the Ark of the Covenant, but some men had a bad idea. They dared to look into the Ark, and God killed them instantly. There was a great death toll, and many people died. Because of this, they sent for the people of Kiriath Jearim to take the Ark. And they brought it to the house of a man called Abinadab, which was on a hill. Then they anointed his son, Eleazar, to be in charge of the Ark. The Ark stayed there for about 20 years. Samuel was the judge and prophet of all Israel. All the people of Israel eagerly sought Jehovah. For that reason, Samuel said, "If you really want to serve the Lord with all your heart, get rid of foreign gods, and devote yourselves totally to serving Jehovah alone, and he will free you from the power of the Philistines." So, the Israelites threw out idols of Baal and the foreign images. And they served the Lord. Samuel ordered all the people of Israel to gather at Mizpah to pray to the Lord for everyone. So they did it. All the Israelites were in Mizpah. When the Philistines found out about this, the rulers said,
All the Israelites are gathered at Mizpah. This is the opportunity we've been waiting for. Now, Israel will fall into our hands.
So the Philistines marched out to attack the Israelites. When the Israelites realized that the Philistines were coming, they were afraid and said to Samuel, "Please, Samuel, don't stop asking the Lord for us to save us from the Philistines." Then Samuel took a small lamb and offered it as a burnt offering to the Lord. Then he prayed to God on Israel's behalf, and God answered. As the Philistines moved forward to attack Israel, in the sky, clouds began to gather, and the Lord threw great thunder and lightning against the Philistines. This created confusion among them, and the Philistines were defeated by the Israelites. Then the Israelites chased the Philistines, killing them along the way. Thus, Israel recovered the lands that the Philistines had captured. Afterwards, Samuel took a stone, and he placed it between the land of Mizpah and Sen, and called it Ebenezer. What does it mean? Jehovah has helped us up to this point. Throughout Samuel's life, God showed his power against the Philistines, keeping them under control and bringing peace to Israel. Samuel continued leading Israel, guiding the people and keeping them faithful to God. It's been a long time, and Samuel was now old. He had 2 sons. The eldest son, his name was Joel, and the second, Abijah. Samuel made them judges of Israel, but neither of them followed his father's example, but that both were carried away by greed and accepted bribes. When cases arose that needed to be resolved, people told them, "Hey, well, look, I know my friend is guilty, but I'm going to give you a little present. I'll give you this if you say he's innocent, that there's not enough evidence to convict him, and that they should let him go as if nothing happened. What do they say?" And they let themselves be convinced. They accepted the bribe, preventing justice. That's why the elders and leaders of Israel, they were upset, and they gathered in Ramah where Samuel lived to talk to him. And they said to him,
Look, Samuel, you have already grown old, and your children, well, your children do not follow your example. They do what they want, and they are not good judges, and you know it. That's why we came to tell you that we want a king to rule us.
Hey.
How so? What do you want, a king?
asked Samuel. "Yeah, we want a king, as well as other nations."
But why do they want a king if we have the King of Kings? We have our God.
"No, we want a king." When they told him this, Samuel was upset, and he began to pray to the Lord. But the Lord said to him,
Samuel, give them what they ask for. They are not rejecting you, but they are rejecting me again. They do not want me to reign over them, despite everything I've done for their love since I brought them out of Egypt until today. They continue to abandon me to serve other gods. So, pay attention to them, but warn them clearly how a king will treat them.
So Samuel returned to where the people were and said to them,
Do you know what having a king entails? If you have a king, its best properties, vineyards, and fields will be for him. Your children will have to join the army, and your daughters will also be taken away from you to work in the palace. Besides, you will have to give a percentage of your crops and profits to give them to officials and ministers. This thing about having a king is no small thing. You are going to lose much more.
However, the people did not listen to Samuel, and they answered him, No, we already told you that we want a king to rule us, so we will be like the other nations with a king who represents us, and let him march before us when we go to war.
I warned you, when that day comes, you will cry out to the Lord because of the king you chose, but the Lord will not answer you.
Nah. After listening to what the people wanted, Samuel sent them back to their homes.
Go home. Return to your villages.
From that moment on, Samuel set out to find a king for Israel, until one day, Jehovah revealed to Samuel who will be the king of Israel and what he should do when he saw him. There was a young man from the tribe of Benjamin, from a highly respected family, who was the son of Kish. Sis, he was the son of Abiel. Abiel, son of Zeror. Zeror, son of Bechorat. Bechorat, son of Aphiah. Aphiah, son of a Benjamite. Sis had a son called Saul, a tall, good-looking, and handsome young man like no other Israelite. One day, the donkeys of his father Sis were lost, and Sis, he asked Saul to go with his servant to look for them. So they set off. Saul and the servant, they visited many places, to the mountains, regions, and cities, but they didn't find them. When they came to a territory called Zuph, Saul said to his servant, You know what? We better go. Let's go back home, lest my father begin to worry more about us than the donkeys. Wait, answered the servant. In this town lives a man of God, a prophet who is very good. Everything he says comes true. Why don't we go see it? Maybe he'll tell us where to find the donkeys. But if we go, what can we offer him? Saul asked. We have nothing left to eat, nor do we have a gift to offer him. Oh, no. Look, here I have a 4 shekel of silver. We can give him this to show us the way. Okay, let's go. That being said, they went to the town where the prophet was. On the way, they found some young girls who were going to draw water from a well. And they asked them, "Excuse me, is the prophet in this city?"
Yeah, it's further ahead.
They answered.
Just arrived in town, and the people are waiting for him to offer a sacrifice at the high place. You must hurry if you want to find him. Go, go!
Saul and his servant headed quickly towards the city. They were coming in when Samuel met them. The moment Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said to him,
There you have the man I told you about.
Arriving at the city gate, Saul approached Samuel and asked, "Excuse me, do you know where the prophet is? Where can we find it?"
I am the prophet.
Samuel replied. "Perfect! Look,
Calm down.
Samuel interrupted.
Come with me, that today you will eat with me. Tomorrow, when you can leave, I will answer all your concerns.
But
Come. As for the donkeys that went missing 3 days ago, don't worry anymore, that they have already found them.
They were both amazed.
I told you he was good.
But how does he know about the donkeys?
Well, he is a prophet.
Then Samuel said to Saul,
What Israel longs for most, it has to do with you and your family.
Why are you telling me that?" asked Saul. "If I am from the tribe of Benjamin, which is the smallest in Israel, and my family is the least of the tribe of Benjamin." So Samuel took Saul and his servant into a hall and gave them a special place among the guests. There were about 30 of them. Then Samuel told the cook to bring the portion of meat that he himself brought him to serve it to Saul. There they ate together. Later, Samuel talked with Saul on the roof of his house. The next day, Samuel accompanied them to the outskirts of the city. So Samuel said to Saul,
Tell your servant to go ahead, but you, stay a moment. I have a message from God for you.
The servant stepped forward, and Samuel took a flask of oil and poured it on Saul's head. Then he kissed him and said to him,
The Lord is the one who has chosen you to govern his people. You will be the one to lead the Israelites. You are the anointed king of the Lord. Today itself, so you can see that this is true, I'll give you some signs. The first sign, it is while you are on the way near Rachel's grave, you will see 2 men. They will tell you that they have already found the donkeys they were looking for, but your father now is more concerned about you. Later on, when you reach the great tree of Tabor, you will meet 3 men who are heading to Bethel to worship God. One of them is carrying 3 goats, the other loaves, and the other a wineskin. After greeting you, they will give you 2 loaves of bread, and you will take it. After that, you will reach the hill of God. Entering the city, you will meet a group of prophets, and behind them, there will be men playing tambourines, flutes, lyres, and harps. But you will join the prophets, and you will prophesy with them, and you will be a new person. After these signs, you will do what seems right to you, because God is with you. Then we will meet at Gilgal. We will gather to offer a burnt offering to the Lord. You will wait for me for 7 days, and when I arrive, I'll tell you what you have to do.
Bye-bye.
And so, when Saul turned to walk away from Samuel, God changed his heart, and that same day were fulfilled exactly all those signs that Samuel told him. After all this, Samuel summoned all the people of Israel in Mizpah to reveal who would be the king. Samuel had all the tribes come closer, and they cast lots. Among all the tribes, the tribe of Benjamin was chosen. Then luck fell on the family of Cis. And finally, the lot fell on Saul,
blah,
who
blah.
will be the new king of Israel.
And who is Saul?
No clue.
Has that man come here?
They wondered. Everyone was looking for Saul, but they couldn't find him. So the Lord told Samuel where he was. And Samuel said to the Israelites,
Saul is here. He has hidden himself among the luggage.
so they were running and they took him out of there. And when Saul stood in the midst of the people, they saw that he was so tall and handsome. People exclaimed,
Look to the man whom God has chosen. There's no one like him in this town.
Long live the king!
And this will be our king?
Boo! Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
And so Saul became the first king that Israel had.
Blah, 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 blah.
Sometime later, Nahas, the king of the Ammonites, he camped with his army in front of Jabesh Gilead, a city in Israel, ready to declare war on them, taking with him all his armies and weapons. The peoples of Jabesh, seeing this, were terrified. They went to the king and said,
Please, let's make an alliance. Make a covenant with us, and we will be your servants.
Alliance? I like the idea.
Nahash the Ammonite answered.
Well, I will be friendly to you. I will accept the alliance, but only on one condition.
What is the condition?
Let each of its peoples take out their right eye. Only then will I make an alliance. Thus I will bring disgrace upon all Israel, and it will serve as a shame.
When the people of Jabesh heard this, they replied,
Hey, give us 7 days so that we can send messengers throughout Israel. If there is no one to defend us from you, then we will surrender.
7 days.
When the messengers arrived at Gibeah, which was the city of Saul, they told him this terrible news, and all the people began to cry. Just then, Saul was returning from the field, driving his oxen. Seeing the people crying, he asked,
What's going on? Why are they crying?
Then they told him what had happened in Jabesh. Upon hearing the news, the Spirit of God came upon Saul with power. Enraged, he grabbed 2 of his oxen, he dismembered them, and with messengers he sent the pieces throughout the territory of Israel with this warning.
This is what will be done with the oxen of everyone who...
Do not go out to join Saul and Samuel. That's what he said.
And so, the fear of the Lord came upon the people, and all of them, as one man, they united and went out to war. 300,000 soldiers were gathered from Israel and 30,000 from Judah. Saul gathered them together at Bezek, and there he said to the messengers,
Go and tell the people of Jabesh that tomorrow, the hottest it is, will be freed from the Ammonites.
The messengers went and carried the message to the people of Jabesh, and they were all filled with joy. Then they went to the king of the Ammonites and said to him,
Tomorrow we will surrender, and you can do with us whatever you want.
Blah, blah, blah.
This was part of a strategy to make the Ammonites lower their guard against the Israelites. The next day, before dawn, Saul organized his soldiers into 3 squads
Blah, blah, blah.
and attacked the Ammonite camp by surprise, causing great carnage until the hottest time of the day. The few Ammonites that survived, they fled in all directions, and not even 2 men were left together.
Blah blah blah. Ơi. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
So, Israel won a great victory. Then the people gathered to Samuel. Everyone was so happy and told him, "Let's see, Samuel, tell us, where are those who did not want Saul as king?"
Hand them over to us, and we will kill him.
And this will be our king?
No, today no one will die,
Saul intervened.
Today no one will be put to death on this day that the Lord has redeemed Israel.
Then Samuel said to them,
I want all the people of Israel gathered together in Gilgal, so that there we may crown our king Saul.
Blah blah blah.
and so they all headed to Gilgal. While there, the people gathered before the Lord. They officially named Saul king. There too, they offered sacrifices, and they celebrated the occasion with great joy. After all this, Samuel addressed the people and said,
Pay attention! I have listened to everything you have asked me for, and I have given you a king to rule over them. You already have your king. As for me, I'm already old and full of gray hair, and my children are already part of you. I have served you from a very young age until today, and I want you to tell me if I have taken something that does not belong to me. Have I stolen something from you? Have I benefited from the service I rendered to God?
No, you have not let us down.
they replied.
You have not oppressed us nor robbed anyone of anything.
Yeah.
May the Lord and his king be witnesses today that you have not found me guilty of anything.
Amen,
That's how it is.
they answered.
I want you to remember that when Jacob and his descendants cried out in Egypt, God sent Moses and Aaron to free them and bring them to this land. But later you forgot God, and he delivered them into the power of Sisera, commander of Hazor, also of the Philistines, of the king of Moab, and others. All of them oppressed you, until you cried out and acknowledged your sin of idol worship. So the Lord, he sent liberators like Jerubbaal, Barak, Jephthah, even me, Samuel, and you were freed from his enemies so that you could live safely. But still, when Nahash, king of the Ammonites, threatened them, they insisted on having a king, even though the Lord was already your king. Well, here is the king you asked for, but keep in mind that it was Jehovah who gave them to you. If you and your king obey Jehovah and serve him thankfully, excellent, everything will be fine. But if you disobey, he will punish you as he did your ancestors. And now, pay attention to me and see with your own eyes something great that the Lord is going to do. Now is not the time for rain, but rather wheat harvesting. However, I will cry out to the Lord, and he will send thunder and rain. This way you will recognize the seriousness of having asked for a king.
Samuel called upon Jehovah, and that same day the Lord sent thunder and rain. All the people felt great fear before the Lord and before Samuel. And they said to him, Pray to Jehovah for us, Samuel. We have sinned by asking for a king.
Do not be afraid. Even though you made a big mistake, do not depart from the Lord. Serve him with all your heart, and do not worship useless idols that you cannot help or rescue them. The Lord will not abandon you, for he has chosen you as his people. I will continue praying for you and teaching you the good way, and always remember the great blessings that God has given you. But if you persist in evil, both you and your king will be destroyed.
Blah 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 blah.
With these words, Samuel encouraged the people to remain faithful to the Lord, their one and only true king. When Saul had been reigning over Israel for 2 years, he selected an army of 3,000 Israelite soldiers. 2,000 were with him in Michmash and in the hill country of Bethel. And the other 1,000 were in Gibeah of Benjamin with the prince, Jonathan, Saul's son. Jonathan, along with the 1,000 men, attacked a Philistine military outpost. When the Philistines heard about this, they declared war on Israel. King Saul ordered the trumpet to be blown throughout the land so that everyone would know they were at war.
Saul has attacked the Philistines. Now the Israelites have become odious to them, and war has been declared.
Oh no.
Therefore, the people put themselves under Saul's command in Gilgal. Meanwhile, the Philistines gathered to fight against Israel. They had 3,000 chariots, 6,000 horsemen, and an army as numerous as the sand on the seashore. They advanced to Michmash and camped there. Moreover, none of the Israelite soldiers had a sword or a spear, except for King Saul and his son, Jonathan. This was because in the territory of Israel, there was not a single blacksmith.
You see, in those times, the Philistines were the experts in making iron weapons. If an Israelite wanted to forge or sharpen any tool, he had to go to the Philistine territory and pay them for the service. But once war was declared, it was forbidden to forge swords and spears for the Hebrews. And if they did, they charged a very high price. Imagine, not only were the Israelites unarmed, but they also depended on their enemies for weapons. What a difficult situation.
Yes, right.
The Israelites.
And the worst part is that, long ago, Israelites had joined the Philistine army to attack their own people.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for explaining.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, you can leave now.
Oh yes, of course.
Finding themselves in this situation, the Israelites trembled with fear, aware that they were in serious trouble. Therefore, many hid in caves, bushes, among rocks, ditches, and wells. Some even crossed the Jordan to flee to the land of Gilead. Meanwhile, Saul remained in Gilgal, just as he had agreed with the prophet Samuel. Samuel had instructed him to wait there for 7 days so that he could offer a sacrifice and seek the Lord's blessing. However, when he saw that Samuel was not arriving, the soldiers began to scatter, and Saul desperately asked,
Has anyone seen the prophet Samuel? Has Samuel arrived yet? Gosh, where is Samuel?
Due to desperation, more and more soldiers were leaving. Faced with this situation, Saul, impatient, decided to offer the sacrifice himself.
All right, bring me everything needed for the burnt offering. I will offer it myself.
And so they did. At the moment Saul finished making the sacrifice, Samuel arrived, and he asked,
What have you done?
Saul replied,
Oh, since you didn't arrive as we had agreed, well, I had to perform the sacrifice myself. I had to do it myself. Look! Look how the people are leaving because they are afraid. What did you expect me to do, Samuel? If the Philistines come to attack us, we would be doomed, and we haven't even sought the Lord's favor.
You have acted foolishly,
Samuel replied.
Because you did not obey the command the Lord gave you, your kingdom will not endure. Your son will no longer be the next king, nor will the son of your son. Now the Lord will seek a man after his own heart and will appoint him as ruler over his people, because you have not obeyed his word.
Having said this, Samuel left, while Saul remained with his son Jonathan and the small army he had left. He ordered a count of the soldiers and discovered that only 600 men remained. Meanwhile, The Philistine army divided into 3 squads, and each group marched toward different lands to attack the Israelites. One day, Prince Jonathan said to his armor-bearer,
Blah, blah, blah.
Come with me. Let's cross to the other side, where the Philistine outpost is.
Without telling King Saul anything, they set off. As they approached, they realized that to reach the Philistine outpost, they would have to climb a cliff. Then Jonathan said to his armor-bearer,
Let's cross over to the outpost of those uncircumcised men. Perhaps the Lord will act on our behalf, for nothing is difficult for him, whether with many or with few. Go ahead, his armor-bearer replied. Do all that you have planned to do, for you have my full support.
And so they began to climb the cliff, which was very steep. As they climbed, Jonathan turned to his armor-bearer and said,
Listen, we will go up where the Philistines are so they can see us. If they say, wait there and we will come to you, we will stay and not go up to them. But if they tell us to come up to them, we will advance, for that will be the sign that the Lord will give us victory. Agreed.
Then the two continued climbing, and they allowed themselves to be seen by the Philistines.
Blah, 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 blah.
When they saw them,
Huh? Hey, look! There are Hebrews over there!
the Philistines exclaimed.
It looks like they're coming out of their caves.
Come over here. Come over here. We have something to show you.
Jonathan and his armor-bearer looked at each other, knowing that this was the sign that the Lord would give them victory. As they climbed up, Jonathan drew his sword and began attacking the Philistines, while his armor-bearer finished them off. At that moment, panic spread through the Philistine camp. The army in the field was overcome with fear, and without knowing what was happening, they began attacking each other. Even the ground shook from the extraordinary panic. The Israelites who had previously joined the Philistines switched sides. They returned to the side of King Saul and Jonathan and joined the attack against the Philistines. From King Saul's camp, the sentries observed what was happening and informed the king.
King Saul, something is happening with the Philistines.
Saul immediately ordered,
Let's take a roll call. We will see who among us is missing.
and so they did. And they realized that Jonathan and his armor-bearer were missing. Then Saul asked for the priest to be brought.
Bring the priest!
The priest at that time was Ahijah, who was the nephew of Ichabod, the son of Phinehas, and grandson of Eli. When Ahijah approached, Saul said to him,
Bring the Ark of the Covenant!
Immediately, Saul changed his mind.
Well, no. Better not bring it. Instead, we will go to war against them. And listen well.
Saul made an oath.
Woe to anyone who eats anything before nightfall. No one will eat anything until the Philistines have been delivered into my hands.
Thus, that day, none of the soldiers had eaten anything while they pursued the Philistines. Even the Israelites who had been hiding joined the battle to fight them. In this way, the Lord delivered Israel that day. After the battle, the entire army entered a forest, and there they noticed that honey was flowing like water. But out of fear of Saul's oath, no one dared to taste it. However, Jonathan, who had not heard his father's oath, took a stick, dipped it into a honeycomb, and ate it. Immediately, his face lit up. But one of the soldiers warned him.
What are you doing, Jonathan? We are not allowed to eat anything. Your father made an oath that any man who eats today will die.
Oh, what my father has done is very wrong, Jonathan said. Look how I regained my energy just by tasting a little of this honey. What's more, if the entire army had eaten from the spoils we took from the enemy, the damage against the Philistines would have been much greater. That day, when the Israelites were pursuing the Philistines, they were exhausted. Desperate from hunger, they took animals from the spoils, sheep, cows, and calves. They slaughtered them right there and ate the meat with the blood, something that was forbidden by God's law.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah?
And they told Saul,
Blah, 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 blah.
The soldiers are sinning against the Lord. They are eating meat along with the blood. They are being reckless.
Saul replied.
Bring me a large stone and tell the people to bring their animals so they can be properly slaughtered so they do not sin against the Lord by eating meat with blood.
That night, each soldier brought his cow and slaughtered them there.
Blah, blah, blah.
After this, Saul built an altar and proposed continuing the attack on the Philistines throughout the night.
Let's go after them and leave no one alive before dawn.
We must consult God first,
The priest intervened.
Blah, 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 blah.
Then Saul asked God,
Should we pursue the Philistines who remain alive? Will you deliver them into our hands?
but God did not answer.
There is sin in the camp. All of you, leaders of the army, come forward and determine what sin has been committed today. As surely as the Lord lives, I assure you that even if the guilty one is my son Jonathan, he will die without mercy.
No one dared to say anything. Then Saul ordered the people to be separated, the soldiers on one side, and he and Jonathan on the other. Then they cast lots, and the lot fell between Saul and Jonathan, while the rest were declared innocent. Saul, surprised, said,
Huh? Cast lots between Jonathan and me.
and the lot fell on Jonathan. And Saul said to him,
What have you done?
Father, it's just that I didn't know you had ordered not to eat. It's true, in the forest, I tasted honey with the tip of a stick. It made me feel better because I was exhausted from the battle. Do I have to die for this?
Yes, may God punish me if you do not die, Jonathan!
Saul exclaimed. However, the soldiers intervened.
Jonathan cannot die! He has given us this great victory with God's help. As surely as the Lord lives, not a single hair from his head shall fall to the ground.
The soldiers united to intercede for Jonathan. And finally, they saved him from death. After this, Saul stopped pursuing the Philistines, who returned to their land. From that time on, Saul fought against all the enemies that surrounded him: Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Amalekites, the kings of Zobah, and Philistines. And all of them he defeated with the help of the Lord. One day, Samuel went to Saul and said,
The Lord sent me to anoint you as king over his people and has entrusted me with a very important message for you. The Lord says that he has decided to punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel by not allowing them to pass when they came out of Egypt. Therefore, go and attack the Amalekites right now. Destroy them completely. Do not let anyone live, not even their animals.
Oh, the Amalekites. I will do everything the Lord has told me.
I hope so.
Saul gathered his army in Telaim, and when he counted them, he realized he had 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 soldiers from Judah. Then he marched to the city of Amalek. But before attacking, he called together the Kenites, a people who lived among the Amalekites, and said to them,
Leave this place. Go away and stay far from the Amalekites. I don't want you to be destroyed along with them, because you were kind to the Israelites when they came out of Egypt.
When the Kenites heard this, they quickly left the Amalekites' land and found safety.
Then they ambushed the Amalekites,
Blah, 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 blah,
and the battle began. The people of Israel won the victory because God was with them. The king of Amalek, named Agag, was captured, but all the inhabitants were destroyed by the sword. However, Saul and his soldiers came up with a terrible idea. Instead of destroying everything as God commanded, they decided to spare King Agag's life and kept the best sheep, cows, and other livestock because they thought they were too valuable to destroy. They only destroyed what seemed useless or worthless. And God spoke to Samuel.
I regret making Saul king, for he has turned away from me and has not followed my commands.
Samuel was deeply troubled upon hearing this, and he spent the entire night crying out to God in prayer.
blah, 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 blah.
At dawn, he set out to meet Saul at Gilgal. When Samuel arrived, Saul said to him,
I'm so glad you've come. Blessed be the Lord. I have followed the Lord's instructions.
Samuel looked at him seriously and asked, "What have you done, Saul?"
What do you mean? I have done everything just as the Lord commanded.
"Oh, really? Then why do I hear sheep bleating? And why do I hear cows mooing?"
Let me explain. The troops brought them from the Amalekites,
Saul replied.
They spared the best sheep and cattle to offer them to the Lord your God. The Lord deserves the best, doesn't he? That's why we brought them here. But everything else we destroyed just as the Lord...
"Enough, Saul!" Samuel interrupted. "I will tell you what the Lord told me last night."
I'm listening,
Saul replied. "There was a time when you thought little of yourself, and now you have become the leader of the tribes of Israel. Wasn't it the Lord who made you king over his people? Wasn't it he who sent you on a mission, saying, 'Go and destroy those sinners, the Amalekites, attack them until they are completely wiped out'? Then why didn't you obey the Lord? Why did you take the plunder and do evil in his sight?"
But I did obey the Lord,
Saul insisted.
I carried out the mission he gave me. I captured the king of Amalek, but I destroyed the Amalekites. And from the plunder, it was the soldiers who took the sheep and cattle to offer them to the Lord.
Samuel replied, "What pleases the Lord more, burnt offerings and sacrifices, or obeying what he commands? To obey is better than a sacrifice. Rebellion is as sinful as witchcraft, and arrogance is as evil as idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king."
Yes, I have sinned,
Saul admitted.
I have disobeyed the Lord's command. The soldiers pressured me, and I listened to them. But I beg you to forgive me and come back with me to worship the Lord. Please, do not leave me like this before the people. If you go, everyone will know that God has rejected me. Come on, Samuel, come with me and worship, so that the elders and leaders do not see my shame.
"I will not return with you, Saul," Samuel replied. "You have rejected the word of the Lord, and he has rejected you as king of Israel." As Samuel turned to leave, Saul grabbed the edge of his robe and tore it. Then Samuel said, "Just as my robe has been torn, so too has God taken the kingdom of Israel from your hands and given it to someone more worthy than you."
I know I have sinned, Saul responded, but I beg you to come with me to worship the Lord. Please, stand by my side as I stand before the elders and leaders.
Samuel agreed to accompany Saul before the leaders of Israel. Later, Samuel said, Bring me Agag, the king of Amalek. When they brought him, Agag approached confidently, saying,
Surely the bitterness of death has passed.
But Samuel said, Just as your sword has left so many mothers childless, so too shall your mother be left without a son.
Huh? What do you mean?
And immediately Samuel took a sword and ended the life of King Agag.
Oh no.
After that, Samuel returned to his home in Ramah,
Blah, 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 blah.
while Saul went back to his home in Gibeah. Samuel never saw Saul again, but he mourned him, because the Lord was sad for having made Saul king of Israel.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
No, no! I am the anointed one! I am the king of Israel! Tell them, Samuel!
Yes, it's true. Saul is the king of Israel.
See? Samuel says I am his anointed one! That's no longer true, Saul! Samuel! You have rejected the word of the Lord, and that's why he has rejected you as king of Israel.
Since Saul disobeyed the Lord's command, the Spirit of God left him, and instead, an evil spirit began to torment him. Saul would fall into delusions, talk to himself, and have uncontrollable fits of rage.
Samuel, please help me! The Lord has taken your kingdom from you and given it to someone more worthy than you. Tell me who it is, Samuel! Who is he?
Samuel anoints David. The Lord spoke to Samuel and said,
How long will you mourn for Saul? I have already rejected him as king of Israel. Get up, fill your horn with oil, and go to Bethlehem, to the house of Jesse, for I have chosen one of his sons to be king.
Samuel replied,
But Lord, how can I go? If Saul finds out, he will kill me. Take with you a young cow from the herd,
said the Lord.
When you arrive in Bethlehem, say that you've come to offer a sacrifice to the Lord. Invite Jesse to the sacrifice, and I will show you what you must do, for you will anoint the one I tell you.
Samuel did as the Lord had commanded. When he arrived in Bethlehem, the elders of the town came to greet him with fear and asked, We are honored by your visit, Prophet Samuel, but have you come in peace, or are we in trouble?
Yes, I have come in peace. I've come to offer a sacrifice to the Lord. So purify yourselves and take me to Jesse and his family. I want them to be part of it.
To whom? Jesse, the son of Obed?
Yep.
The one who was grandson of Boaz and Ruth?
Yes, that one.
Boaz, the son of Rahab, the woman who helped the spies? Don't you ever stop interrupting! Then, Jesse, son of Obed and descendant of the tribe of Judah, welcomed Samuel.
Prophet Samuel, what an honor to have you in my home. Jesse, the Lord has sent me to anoint one of your sons. Sanctify yourself and all your sons, because we are going to offer a sacrifice to God.
Later, when Jesse's sons came before Samuel, he looked at Eliab, the oldest son, and said,
Without a doubt, this must be the Lord's anointed one.
But God said to him,
No, Samuel, don't be impressed by his looks or his height, because I have rejected him. People judge by what they see on the outside, but I look at the heart.
Then Samuel asked Jesse to bring another of his sons. So he brought Abinadab. But Samuel said,
The Lord has not chosen this one either.
Then Jesse brought out Shammah. But Samuel repeated,
Not this one either.
Then another son.
No.
Then another.
No.
then another,
No, no, no.
and then another. Not this one either. Jesse brought out 7 of his sons, and none of them was the one chosen by God. I don't understand. Jesse, are these all your sons? Samuel asked. I have one more, the youngest one, but he's out tending the sheep. Send for him. We won't continue until he gets here. Immediately, Jesse sent someone to get him. The youngest son of Jesse was just a simple shepherd who spent his days in the fields caring for the sheep and playing his harp while composing poems and psalms for God. His name was David, a handsome young man with fair skin and beautiful eyes. As he hurried over, they told him his father was looking for him.
Oh, David, hurry! Our father sent for you. Come quickly!
When David arrived, Samuel saw him, and the Lord said, Rise and anoint him. This is the one. Samuel smiled and said, I was expecting a great warrior, but truly, God does not see what man sees. Man looks at the outward appearance, but God sees the heart. David, son of Jesse, simple shepherd, you are the anointed one of God. Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed the young man in front of his brothers. From that moment on, the Spirit of the Lord was upon David. Later on, Samuel returned to Ramah. Meanwhile, an evil spirit was tormenting Saul. His servants said to him,
King Saul,
What?
let your servants look for someone who can play the harp. So when the evil spirit torments you, the musician can play for you, and you'll feel better.
A musician? Said Saul. Yes, that's it. A harp, soft music, something to calm this storm in my head. Find me a good musician, quickly! Then one of the servants suggested, I know a young man who can play the harp. He is brave and skilled, he speaks well, and he's good looking. His father is Jesse from Bethlehem. So then, they sent messengers to Jesse to tell him to send David to King Saul. Jesse took a donkey, some food, a wineskin, and a young goat to send as a gift to Saul through his son David. This man is crazy! When David arrived, he presented himself before Saul and entered his service. Every time David played his harp, the evil spirit would leave Saul. The music calmed Saul and made him feel better. The Philistine army gathered at Soko.
a town in the tribe of Judah, to declare war on the Israelites. Meanwhile, Saul and the Israelites also gathered and camped in the valley of Elah, where they lined up for battle against the Philistines. With the valley in between, the Philistines stood on a hill on one side, and Israel stood on another hill opposite them. Among the Philistines, there was a famous warrior from Gath who came out of the camp. This warrior was nearly 3 meters tall. His entire heavy armor was made of bronze, and he carried a massive spear. This giant man was called Goliath. In front of him marched his shield bearer,
Yeah. Hey, blah, blah, blah.
and they stopped in front of the Israelite soldiers to challenge them.
Oh. Blah, 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 blah.
When the Israelites saw such an imposing man, they trembled with fear.
Where is your king?
Goliath challenged the Israelites.
Why have you lined up for battle? Am I not a Philistine? Choose a man to come fight me. If he is able to defeat and kill me, which I doubt, then we will become your servants. But if I am the victor and I kill him, then you will be our slaves and serve us. I defy Israel. I defy your God. Choose a man to fight me.
When they heard what the Philistines said, Saul and all the Israelites were dismayed and greatly afraid.
We're finished!
Some were saying, "He's just a man, Father."
Is he? Listen!
Exclaimed Saul.
Whoever volunteers to fight him, I will give my daughter in marriage, shower him with riches, and forgive all his debts, whatever it takes. Who will volunteer?
But no one accepted.
Blah, blah.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Meanwhile, in Bethlehem, Jesse's 3 oldest sons had gone off to war with Saul.
Blah, 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 blah.
The firstborn was named Eliab,
Yep.
the second Abinadab, and the third Shammah. They had followed Saul because they were the eldest.
Blah, blah, blah.
David was the youngest of 8 brothers. He used to go to Saul, but would return to Bethlehem to tend to his father's sheep. Goliath came out every morning and evening to challenge the Israelites.
I'm here waiting for someone to challenge me!
Day after day, Goliath came out and shouted,
King Saul! Where is your champion? Are you all afraid? The Israelites are scared!
and the next day,
Blah, blah, blah.
How many more days must I wait? Is there no champion of Israel? Day after day I challenge Israel! Don't you claim to be servants of your God?
and so Goliath kept challenging the Israelites for 40 days. And no one dared to face him.
Blah, 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 blah.
One day, Jesse said to his son, David,
Take this roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread, and go to the camp and give them to your brothers. Also take these cheeses to give to the commander of the army. Go and find out how your brothers are doing, and bring me some proof, something they're wearing or anything, so I'll know they're well.
David followed Jesse's instructions and left early in the morning.
Blah, blah, blah.
Just as he arrived at the Israelite camp, he heard war cries and saw the army of Israel and the Philistines lining up face to face. David, meanwhile, left his supplies with the keeper of provisions and ran toward the army to greet his brothers. While they were talking, Goliath stepped out from the ranks and once again challenged the Israelites.
You're all cowards! Not a single one dares to face me! Today, I challenge the army of Israel. I challenge the king of Israel, and I challenge the God of Israel!
When he heard this, David said, "Who does this giant think he is to defy the army of the living God?" "No one can face him, kid," some of the soldiers were saying. "Whoever kills him, the king will give a great reward." "Then why hasn't anyone gone to fight him?" David asked. "You want to fight that giant? Gentlemen, our champion who will fight Goliath has arrived!" Eliab, David's oldest brother, heard him speaking with the soldiers and became furious. Then he confronted him.
David, what are you doing here? Who did you leave the sheep with in the wilderness?
"Our father sent me to bring you food."
Food? I know you, David. You're a bold and mischievous boy. You just came to watch the battle!
"What have I done now?" David protested. "It was our father who sent me here. And if none of you will fight that giant, then I will."
Are you crazy, David? You're going back home!
Eliab ordered.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
King Saul heard the rumor that a young man wanted to face the Philistine, and he sent for him. When David arrived, Saul said to him,
Shepherd, I'm glad you're here. Did you bring your harp? This whole thing with the giant has me discouraged. I need you to play for me.
"My king, no one should be discouraged because of this Philistine," said David. "I will fight for you."
Excuse us.
Blah, blah, blah.
Eliab interrupted.
Forgive my younger brother, King Saul. He doesn't know what he's saying.
"My king, I will fight the giant."
Son, how are you going to fight this Philistine by yourself?
Saul replied.
You're just a boy, and he has been a warrior all his life.
David replied, "I take care of my father's flock. When a lion or a bear comes and takes a sheep from the flock, I chase after it and strike it until it lets go. And if the animal attacks me, I grab it by the mane and keep striking it until I kill it. If this servant of yours has killed lions and bears, he can do the same to this uncircumcised Philistine, for he has defied the army of the living God. The Lord who rescued me from the claws of the lion and the bear will also rescue me from the hand of this Philistine."
You speak with such determination, you inspire me to believe, said Saul. Go on, go fight that monster, and may the Lord be with you.
"But my king, we should discuss this first," the commander intervened.
I've made my decision. No other man has volunteered for this. Bring my armor. This shepherd will go to the battlefield wearing the king's armor.
Blah, blah, blah.
And so they did. Saul dressed David in his own clothes, placing a bronze helmet on his head and a breastplate on his chest.
Blah, 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 blah,
David took the sword over the armor and tried to walk. But he couldn't because he wasn't used to it.
Oops.
"I can't walk with all this," he said to Saul. "I can't even move." So he took it all off, took his staff. He went to a river and picked 5 smooth stones, which he placed in his bag. "Shepherd, why aren't you afraid?" Jonathan asked. "Who said I'm not afraid? It's just that my faith is greater."
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
After this, with his sling in hand, David walked toward the battlefield, getting closer step by step to the Philistine. Many mocked him, while others were worried.
I'm tired of all this waiting, said the Philistine. You're all cowards!
Goliath! David shouted. When the Philistine saw someone approaching,
Finally.
he began to advance toward David with his shield bearer in front of him. When he realized it was just a young boy, he said with contempt,
Is this a joke? Is this your champion?
It's true what they say. King Saul has lost his mind.
Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?
and cursing David in the name of his gods, he added,
Come here!
I'll feed your flesh to the animals!
But David replied, You come against me with sword, spear, and javelin, but I come against you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. Today the Lord will deliver you into my hands. I will defeat you and cut off your head. Today I will give the bodies of the Philistines to the birds of the sky and the wild beasts of the earth, so that all the earth will know that there is a God in Israel. And everyone here will know that the Lord does not save with sword or spear, for the battle belongs to the Lord, and he will deliver you into our hands.
I've had enough of you!
As the Philistine moved forward to confront David, he ran quickly toward the battle line to face him.
Blah, 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 blah.
Reaching into his bag, he took out a stone.
This one will kill you!
And swinging it with the sling, he slung it at the Philistine. The stone sank into his forehead. And the giant collapsed. Thus David defeated the giant Goliath.
Oh my gosh.
Then he ran to where the Philistine had fallen, took his sword, and with it finished him off by cutting off his head.
Blah, 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 blah.
When the Philistines saw that their warrior was dead, they fled in terror. Then all the soldiers of Israel and Judah, shouting in triumph, charged after them and pursued them to attack.
Blah, 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 blah.
Saul, for his part, asked Abner, commander of his army,
Abner? What is this young man's name? And who is his father?
As surely as your majesty lives, I can assure you I do not know. As soon as David returned, after having killed Goliath, and still holding the Philistine's head in his hand, Abner brought him before Saul and asked,
Blah, 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 blah.
What is your name? And whose son are you, boy?
My name is David, son of Jesse of Bethlehem, at your service. Who would have thought? David was small, yes, but what he had inside here was worth more than 1,000 swords. While everyone saw how small and weak he looked, God saw his confidence and his heart. Now, yes, I can go in peace. And so it was. After many events in Israel, the prophet Samuel died. All the people mourned him and buried him at his home in Ramah. Samuel was the last judge of Israel, a man who heard the voice of God from childhood and dedicated his life to serving him. He spoke with boldness, corrected with wisdom, and always walked in obedience to the Lord.
subscribe, comment, leave us your like, and follow us on our social networks.
Hey! Like in every video, it's time to say hi to our friends who commented on our posts. If you want a shout out in the next video, follow us and comment on our latest post on social media, Instagram and YouTube. But before we start, huge thanks to all our Oh My Gosh members! Alright, today's shout outs go to... A special greeting to... Eli and Asa in Charlotte from North Carolina. Thank you very much for your super thanks. Cristobal and my brothers Tyrone, Aaron, Matthew, and Jonathan from California. Tiny Pocket Mouse. Emery and Eli Hilton, the Bahamas. Divine Grace from Central Africa, Orlando. Meta Sear. Chris Molina. Rand 6125 ENG, Hosea, Lois, and Johannes from the US, Tornado 82S, Malige Kids Animation, Randy Welchel, at TNI East Africa Center 1 3623, Kevin Sean Zibua, Gliaza de Vera, Tropical Breeze from America, US, Helen Gakani, Candy Munchie, Amaya from Jamaica, June Holden 4741, Ola and Ao from Scotland, Oxgale Prime 6318, Dana from Australia, Salem and Esther from North Carolina, USA, Lucia, Peter, Esther in Georgia, US, Samuel from New Jersey, Victoria, Judah, Sarah, and Priscilla from Washington State. From Jatin Chauhan, India. From Brooklyn, New York, Zechariah, Hosea, Messiah, Yariah, and Janelle. Adam Josiah Babulal from Trinidad and Tobago. Andy, Sarah, Elena, Mira, and Levi from England. Clelia from New Jersey. Devi from Long Island, New York. Dubai, Carlos, Lawanda, Denise, Layla, and Mia. Thank you very much for all your great support!